Civil rights activists are raising concerns over a series of raids by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Hundreds of undocumented immigrants were arrested in at least 5 states. This may be the first large-scale enforcement of President Trump's order to crack down on the estimated 11 million immigrants living here illegally, although law enforcement disputes that. President Trump claimed credit for the raid Sunday, tweeting, "The crackdown on illegal criminals is merely the keeping of my campaign promise. Gang members, drug dealers, and others are being removed." The ACLU's Deputy Director of the Immigrants' Rights Project, Lee Gelernt, is here. Lee, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I want to just start off by getting your reaction to the recent arrests.
Yeah, we're concerned, and more importantly, communities are scared. They're anxious, and they're seeing large-scale presence of ICE officers in their communities. And so we are going to do everything we can to push back. And one of the things that we are doing is organizing an enormous rapid response team, not just civil rights groups like the ACLU, community groups on the ground, but I think maybe most importantly, numerous big law firms, the most prestigious law firms in the country, are joining with us to create this rapid response team, and they have offices all around the country, and they're prepared to get on a plane as soon as we tell them there's been a raid to try and get there on the ground to provide counsel for vulnerable people.
Lee, I wonder, some folks watching may say this isn't necessarily new. For instance,
Should ask to see a warrant. They absolutely have rights, and anybody who is telling them they don't have rights is simply wrong.
I just want to pause for a moment because I think what you just said is going to be shocking to some people. The notion that people who, in some people's eyes, have violated this nation's laws by coming into this country, living in this country illegally, still, you say, have some right under our Constitution, even if they're not U.S. citizens.
Right, but that's been settled for a long time. And one of the things to keep in mind is that just because ICE says they're here illegally and doesn't have a right to be here doesn't mean that's so. So, for example, the ACLU has seen numerous cases where citizens are removed accidentally, and other people have a right to stay here. People have a right to apply for asylum, all types of rights. So what we're talking about here is not giving ICE unilateral authority to decide who should be here, but they have to bring people before a judge, and they absolutely have a right to go before a judge.
The last question I have, we only have about a minute left. We're hearing that there were some reports of non-existent raids spreading online through social media. How do you essentially keep your focus when you have these kind of conflicting messages? Doesn't that sort of undermine what it is that you and others are trying to do?
Right. Well, I mean, you're talking about sort of all the reports going out there. Right. I mean, that's why we need to create this rapid response.